Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. I go by Perry Flips on Instagram, Pothead Picker on X, Flips and Giggles on Facebook is the page, and eBay store is Flips and Giggles. So if you haven't followed that, go check out the eBay store. I just opened a Depop store. I think I talked about that last week where I had like a whole fucking, my payouts were on hold, and yeah, so I opened a Depop store and I was like, fuck eBay, blah, 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 blah. So I listed like 4 or 5 things just to get it started. I've got like tons of like people liking it and sending offers, and like I've seen some of the ending amounts on some of the other listings and shit. And it just seems like stuff sells for a lot lower on Depop. So I might just close it down and just fucking, because it's just, it doesn't make sense for me to do it if it's not going to, And since that time I've sold, I don't know how many, like I posted the same shirt on Depop. Like it had been up on Depop for like a week. I posted on eBay and like 2 days later it sold on eBay. So it's it was a nice little experiment and a nice little impulse. I don't know if it sped the process up. It might have, because I tagged eBay in my post. It was like, I'm moving all my shit out of your fucking platform. But it's customer service has just been, I mean, I've fucking talked about it before. It's not just eBay. It's like everywhere you go. I went to the Verizon store the other day. Because like they fucking just keep increasing our bill. And so, it's like, of course, because it's like on some new plan and some fucking bullshit. So it's like they want you to come in so you can get your new plan, so you can get a new phone. And like, I used to sell fucking Verizon, so I know how all this shit works. And I know it's not just Verizon, but it's just like, to me, it's like, what the fuck is the point of like, the service has not been great. Like, you just keep increasing the price, and then you basically force me to come in and get a phone. I want to switch to another carrier, but I just don't know like if that's the answer, but we'll see. I might just fucking do it because this is fucking annoying. It's crazy. It just keeps increasing the bill, increasing. So I go into Verizon the other day. It was like Thursday. I went right when they open, and this guy who his haircut was the fucking, and I can't really talk because my hair is like, I'm like going bald in the back, which that's been a whole fucking thing I've been struggling with lately. What to do with my fucking hair? Do I just shave it all off or try to like invest in it? Because I still have a lot of hair. It's just like this it's not even like bald. It's just, it looks bald because it's like thinning. So, but it just doesn't look, you know what I mean? It's not really like, it's probably a bald spot. I don't know. I asked my wife and she's like, I don't think she has the heart to tell me the full truth. So I don't know. But anyway, so this guy, I walk in, he's got like a fucking, it's almost like a bowl cut, but it looks like he's like, he goes to like a barber in the hood. You know what I mean? Like I could tell what he was going for versus what he actually had on his head. Like he looked like the real life version of Toad from Mario. Like he just looked like he straight up had a mushroom head. It was not a good look. Like, I don't know if he forgot to do his hair and like that's just the way he went into work. But so he's like, oh yeah, the systems are down. So I can run in the back for you, and like I can call you afterwards and take a look or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. So like, a few hours go by and I forgot about it. And I was like, and it's taken me weeks to go in and fucking like look at this shit. So finally, like, I get a text from Verizon that's like, you've entered the queue. So I'm like, oh, is somebody going to fucking call me finally? No, nobody called me. Not once. So I went in the next day and this guy starts talking to me. And he's like, going into my account. And so he's asking me like questions, blah, blah, blah. So like he's asking me about the account. And I used to be on like an employee account. So like I told him that because I wanted him to know that I knew what the fuck the deal was. So he's not like trying to waste my time with bullshit. And he still was trying to waste my time with bullshit. He's like, oh yeah, you can't change the plan. And I'm like, so I go home and I like pull up my app and I forgot you could do it on the phone. So I like go on the phone and I look and I'm like, oh, sure enough, I can change the plan. But it makes it way more expensive if you fucking switch to their new plan, because it's like right now I'm paying $35 a month, and the new plan is like, it's like, $30 a month, but you don't get any hotspot. We need hotspot with the fucking kids. But then it's like 45 if you want a hotspot. So it's like why the fuck? Why didn't you just leave it the way it was? Like that's the thing when I worked for Verizon drove me fucking nuts. Is you would go in and they would constantly be changing the fucking plans, and it never made sense as to why. It was like the only thing that it made sense is they were trying to get people to come into the store to buy fucking phones, which is what they were doing. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. That's what they want you to come in and buy their shit. And yeah, so this guy's like telling me all this fucking nonsense. It's like not true. And then he tells me he's the manager, and I'm like, oh, well, there's why he's giving me information that's not accurate and correct, because managers never know what the fuck's going on. Like, had he told me he was the manager when I first started, like, sat down, I probably would have been like, can I wait for somebody else? You know what I mean? The manager of the store never knows what the fuck is going on. It's very rare that I've worked at a place where the manager was like the best. They're never the best employee. They're the ones willing to do the bitch work. That's really what it boils down to. It's never the people that are the best leaders, because the best leaders leave. They're fucking smart enough to leave. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, this is a dumb, go nowhere fucking bullshit job, and like this company doesn't actually take me seriously, but so I'm gonna leave. And then they find some dipshit who's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll do the same job for less pay, but I'll have a little bit of power over the people I work with every day. Why not? Like, I don't know why I just went on a rant on fucking working actual jobs, but I don't even remember what I first started talking about. What was that? Oh, so the Verizon. So then, yeah, this guy's just giving me fucking wrong information. And so now I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I keep forgetting. I need to look up T-Mobile stuff. And I'm like, I keep forgetting. I keep remembering when I'm like doing shit. Like when I'm doing the podcast, I'm talking about it. And so like, I'll just grab this thing here and I'll write it down here so I don't forget. My kid's marker that's probably broken. Just write T-Mobile. I'll look into T-Mobile. I'm not like, I'm not fucking advertising for anybody or anything like that. I just really don't. I'm just sick of I'm sick of paying a shitload of money for like shit that I could pay less for, especially when it's just service. Like I used to get it. I would get like discounts to have the fucking service, and because I work there and shit. But now it just doesn't make sense. I'm getting older. I'm like, I don't need to fucking have Verizon just so I can be like, I've got Verizon service. Even that fucking guy from Verizon left. He went to Sprint, and then look what happened. Sprint got fucking gobbled up by T-Mobile. Now what happens to that guy? Does he become a Sprint guy now? That guy, nobody's gonna trust that guy. He went from Verizon to Sprint, and if he goes to T-Mobile, that's it. There goes your credibility. But he does. I mean, that should be his thing. He should just be the guy. He should advertise for everybody. Like, you know what? This fucking service sucked. I jumped ship, and now I'm proud to. He does like a LeBron James style. When LeBron James first announced when he was leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers where he was going, do like that. Like, I'm going to Cricket Wireless is where Steve, the Verizon guy. I don't remember his fucking name. I don't think they gave him a name. I think it was just the can you hear me now guy. Can you hear me now, bitch? Can you hear me now? Anyway, another week in reselling. It's my eBay sales have been a little bit slow, but this is typically my slow time. I've got a bunch of clothes listed. So I've been selling some clothes. Like I just sold a $60 sweatshirt today from that free lot of clothes. And I sold like a $50 t-shirt yesterday. So it's been good. Like, sales like that are I'm okay with, like, trickling in. But so this past week, the estate sale, Saturday was a weird day. So there was some sales on Friday, and my wife was off, and I had like really considered it, but I had some shit to do at the house that like, I could work on. So I skipped sales on Friday. I've been trying to do that more where I'm like, I have shit at the house, like just work on that shit and just bang it out. And so yeah, so I didn't go out Friday, but Saturday there was a few estate sales, and there was like nothing really during the week. It was like one or two estate sales, and they were all kind of like 45 minutes away. Everything wasn't, there was nothing like really close. So then I I checked the night before, of course. We were struggling to put this pen cap on. What the fuck was I gonna say? Yeah, so I checked the night before, Friday night, and I'm like looking, and there was a couple sales that I was kind of on my radar, and there's certain places where I can check where I know people aren't looking, and so and then you have to come down to that decision. That's one of the things I wrote down to talk about today, was like coming to a decision. Trying to come up with a decision for a yard sale. I don't know if you're like me, but like there's times when I fucking obsess for like, I check every day. You know what I mean? Because you never know. Like I've checked before on like a random Tuesday on Craigslist, and somebody posted like for Wednesday, like a Wednesday estate sale. There's been times where I've checked and it's been like, oh, on Tuesday, and I'll check, it'll be like a Thursday free, and they'll post it on one of the yard sale sites, and people don't start checking the yard sale sites until like Thursday, Friday. And so like, they miss out if they're not checking it if you're not checking it every day. And, there's times when like I'll check and there'll be a sale posted, like, sometimes if there's like a good sale coming up, it'll be posted like, somewhere, like if it's posted in like the newspaper or some shit like that, and I'm like waiting for it to just drop other places, because you're like, okay, if it's in the newspaper, it's not gonna be that many people going to this sale. You know what I mean? Because not many people use newspapers anymore. Like there are times where I check it every week, and I probably go to like 4 sales a year from the newspaper, but it's it does work out. Like the one time I went to one, I got some pretty good stuff. So it's hit or miss. I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And so I'll just like obsess for the fucking week. I'm like, just when I'm like sitting down and I have downtime to actually think, or when I'm driving, it's just like I'm constantly like strategizing, like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go here first. And then when you have to figure out, like, nobody really talks about that part of reselling. It's like, because reselling is a lot of shit. Like you got to market yourself. You've got to sell, source, ship, put out fires, customer service. Like you have to do all the shit. You're basically like a one-man show, unless you have a little team of people, which I don't yet. Decision, like you have to decide which sale is first, because it makes or breaks your entire day, if you go to the wrong sale first. And so like you spend a lot of time just obsessing over it like a fucking crackhead. It's like thinking about it, like, fuck, where should I go first? Especially if there's a tough decision to make where you're like, man, is this like, because sometimes you have to factor in, like, is there going to be a lot of people there? Is there going to be competition there? Is the prices? Like, that's the thing. If you don't know the prices, if you don't know, like, what people are selling them for, it's a really, really, really tough call to make. Sometimes you have to like really fucking, and you can't agonize over it, you know what I mean? You just like sometimes you just let it get into your brain and fucking like, yeah. So I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I try not to. I mean, it's obviously once yard sale season starts, it kind of wears off a little bit. You get kind of into a flow and a rhythm, and I'm actually pretty good at like figuring out where to go. There's another guy that goes out there, and like I'm very friendly with him. I text with him and shit. Like we're cool. He's around probably my age, maybe a little bit older than me, but and he does this part time. But like he's got like he has good instincts as to where to go for like sales, because he'll be at this. I don't see him too much in the during yard sale season, which is nice, because he's kind of, you know, in my area. There's only so many sales, you know, so like you got to get out and get to them. And I get there early. I try to be the first one. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'll go there and I list. I just sit there and list. You know what I mean? It's not wasting time. I'm driving there, get in there. I was going to drive there anyway, so I get there a little early. I list uninterrupted. Like if I'm home, I'm not going to be able to do that listing. Like I don't get to do listing until like, you know, if I'm lucky, until the kids go down or my mom takes them. Like my mom took them this morning so I could get the podcast done early, which is fucking awesome because now I can do homework and fucking other shit. But anyway, I digress. Oh, there's the laundry. So yeah, it's tough. You have to make a decision sometimes, and like if you pick the wrong fucking sale, man. But luckily there's, you know, every week you have a chance to pick the right sale. So more times than not, I do the right thing and I end up, you know, doing well. So I'm hoping that this yard sale season continues. And so, yeah, anyway, I saw that guy there Saturday. You know, I made that decision to go to this sale. There's a bunch of other sales, but this one was like entire house. It was not the entire house. There was a lot of stuff. But like it was a weird Saturday. A lot of the sales were starting at 10, which doesn't really happen. Like a lot of them start at 9, which is really annoying. 10 is annoying as fuck in the summertime. Like it's okay if there's a bunch of other sales, but like when there's only a handful of sales and there's a bunch of sales at like 8 o'clock and then the next one is at 10, like you're just get the fuck up. Like what are you doing? Just put 10 but get up. You know what I mean? Don't, like, unless you're busy in the morning, like the 10 o'clock start is so fucking annoying. I've done it. I'm not going to say I haven't done it. But I did it because I'm a psycho. I wanted to go to other yard sales. So I was like, I'll do it later. And then I can go fucking to yard sales. Get up early, set it up, and then run out, go to sales, and then come back to people fucking poking around my shit. Circle of life. So anyway, I go to this sale, and it's not a... There's like 2 sales in a row. Like, so the first sale I get to, and it's like a family, and you know, homeboy was there, the guy I knew, but he came after me. So I was like, I get first, you know, I walk in first, of course. And so I walk in and there's kind of only one way to go in. So I kind of am like talking to him. I'm asking him about my usual shit, cause I know he's going to ask about the same shit. So I ask first, you know, just make sure to get that shit out of the way. You got any of this? I don't know. Keep it walking over here, whatever. So I found like an Ed Hardy jacket. That should be all right. I should do okay with that. And, there's a couple other things, but there wasn't much. It wasn't the entire house. Like they had a lot of stuff roped off and sectioned off. Like there's a whole upstairs. Like from the outside, I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking awesome. I love these sales where you just go in and go to town. They clear out. It said, that's what it said, clear out. We need to clean this house out, you know. And they were not trying to clean the house out. They were like, you know, they were, but you could tell because the mom, like it's hard when people are there. Like you could tell it was the lady's husband who had died, and she was just like, "Oh, this is so sad." And it's like, "Oh, just fucking go away, lady." Like I'm trying to shop here. Don't be fucking putting a damper on my shopping experience. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I feel bad for the lady. You know, her husband had passed away. But still, it's like if you're going to do an estate sale, you can't have the fucking sad old lady there if you're trying to sell shit. Because it's not going to work. And yeah, so then they had some hats, but the other dude got to the hats first. I don't think there was anything crazy. There was another like Ed Hardy hat in there, but yeah, that's the thing I can't stand though. It's like I got there so much earlier and they're like, oh, we need like 20 minutes. And then like fucking dude gets there and 2 minutes later, they're like, come on in. I'm like, you fucking assholes. Like you could have said 5 minutes ago that I could come in and start poking around. And, like nothing was really like, you know, it's like they were still kind of taking stuff out. Like they weren't ready to have a sale basically. So then I was like, all right, well, I'll go to another sale. I only paid like $25. I got like the jacket. I didn't even pay $25. I paid $20. I got the jacket. I did pay $25. Yeah, I got the jacket. I got a couple other things. I can't even remember right now. off the top of my head. I have to look. Like a t-shirt, a couple other things. I don't even remember. I'd have to look and see what I got. It's been a long day. Anyway, so then I went from there to this other sale that had advertised like collectible dolls, and they had like a picture of what looked like American Girl dolls. Like it was American Girl clothes, but the pictures were kind of far away, and it was like a real estate company, so it was kind of like an open house / estate sale, which was a terrible idea. I hated this sale. I've never hated a sale more. So the real estate lady wasn't actually running the estate sale. She was doing like the open house part of it. And then so it was like some stuff was for sale, some stuff wasn't for sale. And then there was like an Asian lady in the like I don't know what their situation was, but this is just I just am trying to paint a picture right now, okay? So there was like I went downstairs, there was like a basement with all these toys. I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, this is going to be like sweet." So I walk in, there's like an Asian lady on the ground with all these Barbie clothes out, and I don't know what the fuck she was doing. She was like going through them or something, organizing them. I don't know. And I'm looking around and I'm like, and it's all like just accessories and like broken toy, like nothing, just a bunch of shit, like nothing that I could even think to like, oh, maybe I can lot this up, or it was like nothing. So I'm like looking around. I find like these drawers. So I open these drawers and I actually found some Nintendo DS games. So I'm like, oh, I grabbed those. And I'm looking, I go see the American Girl dolls, and I go over. As soon as I get up close enough, I can tell. Like, you can tell American Girl, it's like high quality shit. You know what I mean? You can tell when something's not quality versus quality, especially when you've been doing this enough, there's enough times. You've been doing it long enough, And so as soon as I like see those, I'm like, oh, these are fucking like our generation or whatever bullshit. And so like, yeah, and then in the ad it said Lego, and they had like Lego Duplo, and it was just a bunch of bullshit. And then I found like bins of actual Lego, and I'm like, they didn't look like they're for sale, but I figured I'd ask. I was like, is this stuff for sale too? And they're like, oh no, none of that stuff's for sale. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So then I go, I got like a Lisa Frank thing from 2013. I don't think I'll probably get like $20 or something like that. And then I got a thing for my kids. And then I'm asking about the video games, and half the games were missing. Like I looked through them all because for whatever reason, DS and Nintendo DS, I mean, I know why. It's because they're small. Those games just constantly are not in the cases. So you always have to check those. And so I checked most of them, and most of them were missing. There was like a couple games worth $15 to $20, maybe like 4 games worth that. And so like, but I didn't know that at the time. I was just kind of like going based off the one game I knew the value of. And there was a couple PS3 controllers and like, a decent little lot if I could get it for like $10. That's what I offered, was like $10. And so then there's another lady who's like Spanish, and she's going to talk to somebody else, and it was her house. So it was just a very like, that's why I was saying I hated this fucking estate sale. It's like there's some like random Asian lady in the bottom, like I don't know if they were like lesbians or what. I don't give a fuck what their situation was. There was so many people that weren't like, there was some people were for the real estate open house, and then the other people were there for like the estate sale. It was like, why would you do this on the same day? It was the dumbest fucking thing. And they had the worst shit. It was like all kids shit. And then she has to go talk to somebody about this stuff that's like, so she comes back after all that, and she's like, oh, would you do 12? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I offered you 10 and you come back after fucking leaving for 5 minutes and to negotiate $2 more. And I wanted to go at that point, so I just said, sure, whatever. Like, I'm not going to be like one to be like, you're going to lose this sale over $2. You know what I mean? Like, it was so annoying. So, and they were both pretty hot. So if they were a lesbian couple, I mean, more power to you. I wasn't commenting on their race or anything like that. I was just trying to paint a picture. It's very confusing. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I don't know if I was at like a World Aid concert or some shit. I don't know if that's a good reference. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So then after that sale, I went, there was a sale like, 5-10 minutes from my house. And I was like, oh, I'll swing over there because there was a Dunkin' Donuts, and I had told my kids because I had to bring my kids with me. So I was like, all right, if you hang out in the car with the tablets, chill while I'm doing the sales, I'll get you some Dunkin' Donuts because we don't do fucking donuts and shit that often, and we don't really do the tablets that often either. So it was kind of like a special treat day to just sit quietly while I did my thing. And so I go to this last sale, and there's it's at this lady's house that I've gone to her sales before, and sometimes her shit's kind of grody, but it's outside. You know what I mean? So you can't really tell. So this one was inside, and as soon as I walked in, I was like, you know how you walk into some places and the air is thicker? That was like that. Like I walked in, I was like, oh, this is like a smoker house. And there's all these collectible toys. Nobody's going to fucking buy any of that shit because you can smell. As soon as you walk in, you're like, this fucking house reeks. And she had a candle on, which made it smell even worse because it was just like a candle covering up the smell of cigarettes, which was fucking horrible. As a former smoker, too, like it's fucking so gross to smoke in the house. Like I didn't do it. The only times I enjoyed doing it was when I was like doing dirtbag shit with like dirt bags. Like if I was with a bunch of fucking random fucking dudes just like, doing cocaine and fucking drinking and, doing fucking shady shit, then I'm okay smoking cigarettes in the house. But it's fucking so fucking nasty to smoke cigarettes in the house. So as soon as I walk in, I'm like, oh, I'm not buying anything in here. And she's like, oh, there's more in the basement. So I go in, and even the basement like smelled like fucking smoke. I'm like, all right, I'm not buying shit in here. I left. I wasn't in there for like 5 minutes, and I'm just, all I could smell was like it on me. I got home and I could smell it. It was on like my jacket. I threw the jacket over like in the fucking corner of the basement by the laundry machines, hoping that it just sits there and airs out, and then just throw it in the wash. But it was fucking so gross. I'm like, oh. So never go into her sales again, ever, ever. I've found a couple good things there before, but no, that's just like, and they're like flea market deals. It's like, how do you fucking just sit and smoke in here and then you expect people to buy your shit? And do people actually buy your shit? Like, how are you successful at this? I don't get how people are successful at reselling, and they can be so fucking unprofessional. And listen, I got into reselling because I didn't want to be crazy professional, but like there's a difference between being professional for yourself and being professional for somebody else and representing a company and representing yourself. And like you could still be professional and like tell people to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like I do it all the time. I'm just like very politely like, oh, you want that? You want a discount on that? And oh yeah, fuck off. Like, not so many words. So then that was like the last sale of the day. That shit was yeah, it was a weird day. All those sales started at 10, and so after all that, I got some decent stuff. It wasn't like a bust day, I got some good stuff. But this past week, so like I think it was like Monday, anytime it's like nice and it's not too chilly out, I walk my mom's dog. She can't really walk him. So like, he gets outside and stuff, but he doesn't really go for walks. So I've been, since like, I don't know, since my oldest daughter started school, I started taking, now they can both probably come with us. Before it was like I was having to walk in a stroller or something like that and fuck around with the dog. Now both my daughters are able to walk around the block and shit by themselves. And so I was walking down the street with the dog and my daughter, and I ran into one of my neighbors whose wife just passed away recently. And he was like, oh, let me know next time you have a yard sale. But the way he said it was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Because we were just kind of caught me off guard. So the way he said it was like, I thought he was upset at first. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna be fucking pissed right now. Like we're about to have an altercation. You know what I mean? So my brain was already going to like, all right, let's get ready to be polite and like don't fucking fly off the handle. And he's like, yeah, let me know next time you're having a yard sale. He's like, I got a bunch of stuff in my basement I want to get rid of, blah 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 blah. And I go, oh, that was my only yard sale for a little while. But I was like, I sell on eBay. So if you want me to come take a look, I can come take a look and see what you got. He was like, yeah, come over whenever. So I'm going to be going to my neighbor's. I think he's just going to give it to me. I mean, I'll offer him some money, but I don't think he needs money. So I was going to go like Thursday, and of course he wasn't home. Thursday, like most of the day he wasn't home. And then Friday I was just busy, and then I've had the kids all weekend. So I'm going to go back there like Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, the little thrift store that I help volunteer for opens up. And I was trying to get in there to help volunteer to set shit up. But I don't know, I must have been away. I texted them before I left to be like, oh, I'm away for this time, but I can help. And so they open on Tuesday, and I'm going to ask to see if they let anybody shop early, because my homeboy like was going shopping there before they were opening up. So he's finding the shit that I would like, potentially want to find before me. And so I'm going to be kind of fucking annoyed if that's the case, if they're still like letting people shop early and like I volunteered and they didn't even give me an opportunity to come shop early. Fucking save them a bunch of time and fucking resources or whatever. I mean, obviously I was doing it to benefit myself. I wasn't helping volunteering at a thrift store out of the goodness of my heart. You know what I mean? Like I told them I was a reseller. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to ask. I'm like, oh, well, I guess there's no point in volunteering. Like if you're just going to let people fucking shop early anyway. But we'll see. I'm going to go there early on Tuesday. They usually let me like shop early the day of. But I'm talking about like early access before the day of. So I'll drive by there tomorrow and see if anybody's there. Be like, oh, I thought you guys opened today. But yeah, so they open on like Tuesday, so I'm gonna go over there, and then go to my neighbor's like Monday or Tuesday, whatever time, if I can see him, if he's home, run over there, knock on the door. I should have just set a time, but I was like in the middle of shit. He was in the middle of shit. But whatever, I'll go over there. So that happened. So that was nice. I was like, oh fuck yeah, we'll get some free stuff. So I got a bunch of fishing poles. I'm like, fuck. Like, I guess I can put those on Marketplace or take them somewhere. I'm sure there's places that you can just fucking consign. That's what I might do. I got some like, so then, yeah. So, I'll get into this in a second. Hold on. So yeah. And then what day was it? I think it was like Thursday. Yeah. Thursday maybe. No, it was Wednesday. So I was getting ready to take my daughter to school, and it was like 8 something. And I just happened to like check my Facebook right before I left, because I always check like to see if like right now is the time when people are fucking putting stuff out for like free, trying to get rid of shit, spring cleaning. So I was like, oh, I'll check Facebook real quick, and saw a post that had just been listed like 3 minutes before. And it was like, everything's free, blah, 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 today. Of course, there's no address, so I like had a message for the address. So like, they gave me the address. It was like 30 minutes from the house, but only like 18 minutes from the school. So I was like, all right, sweet. Like, I'll drive over, get my kid to school, and we're already on the way over there. So I went from there over to where they were having this free shit. And in the pictures, I like went through them, and I didn't see anything like crazy good. But then I saw like a PlayStation 3 in one of the pictures finally, and it was like the box. And I was like, oh, well, if that's all in there, like it's worth the drive over just to check. So I get there. Well, I had messaged like asking, if they could possibly hold the PlayStation, because I was on my way, coming 30 minutes just to see if the lady's like, oh, I'm not going to be there. I'm, going to work. Which was like, I don't know why she said that. She was like, oh, the garage is going to be open, so just go in and take what you want, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. So I get there and I start going in, and then some guy walks out. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like about to get some shit about to go down. And I was like, yeah, this stuff's free, right? Like, he's like, oh, yeah, my neighbor helped me out and posted it for me. I'm like, why the fuck why didn't she just say that she was doing it for somebody else? There would be somebody there. Like, it didn't make any sense. So, So he was there and he was like, yeah, take whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. And so like I had already grabbed the PlayStation. That was the first thing I grabbed. So I went back in and I'm like looking around and he was kind of like pointing me towards stuff. And there was like this espresso machine from like Italy. So I was like, oh, okay. Like that's nice. Like, well, he's like, yeah, you should take it. Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I took that. There was like another little coffee grinder, like expensive looking. So I took that. Like a guitar case and then like a pedal board case, and I looked on the website because I couldn't find any on eBay, but on the website they still manufacture them and they go for like $500-$600. So I have it currently on Facebook for like $500. We'll see. I might have to mark it down a little bit, but potentially might take those to like the music shop and just consign it because they're big, and because there was like a guitar case as well, and I could just bring that shit in there, consign it, and then if I'm getting the same amount as I would somewhere else, but they're going to store it. So I might have to do that, bring that in and just be like, hey, can I consign this shit here? So we'll see. And then I think that was it. There might have been a couple other things. Oh, and then I grabbed like a headlamp because there's this dude I run into all the time and he's always like, oh yeah, I should bring a headlamp. And so I was like, I'll just grab this one and see if he wants it, And he told me after he already had one. But I looked it up and it was like an $80 headlamp. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm selling this. I can't remember. I think there was a couple other things, but there's like a cast iron bank I thought might go for a little bit more, but that might actually just go into the yard sale pile. I don't know if I feel like dealing with it. I'll put it on Marketplace first, but if it doesn't sell, I'm not going to like go jump through hoops, try to get it to sell. Because it's not something I'm like crazy interested in having to deal with shipping. So, all right, let's see. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here that I haven't even looked at yet. Do. So I was cleaning shoes the other day. I got like a pair of Doc Martens, which I used like some leather polish and like made them look nicer. And then I got the fuck kind of shoes were they? Oh, they were like some Vans. Like they were actually cool, like Vans NASA shoes. I probably talked about them already, but I haven't posted anything on my Instagram. I've been slacking on everything. I'm so behind on my YouTube videos too. I'm like 3 or 4 behind, and I'm gonna work on it. I just like literally every time I have time to do something, I've got something else to work on. That's like kind of a priority. So I'm hoping that like once I'm done with school for the summer, I can catch up on a lot of stuff. I want to get caught up on the YouTube videos before. I'm trying to get like somebody to fucking help me do shit. You know what I mean? Like my cousin doesn't do shit. He just fucking sits at home and he could learn how to do this shit. But if I have to teach somebody how to do this shit, it's not going to be helpful to me because then I have to take the time to fucking teach somebody how to do it. And I've tried. I got the motherfucker a computer and he was like, oh, I can't get into it. And then he gave it back to me. And I was like, sell it. Like, you just complained that you don't have money. So I was like, I fucking posted it and like got rid of it in like 2 seconds while he was still over. Just to show him like, yo, somebody would have fucking come and taken that from you and handed you money for it. I think I sold it for like $10. So then, what was I going to say? So then, yeah. So I mean, I'm not holding my breath on that one. But it's just like, I need somebody like that who just doesn't have shit to do. Who's just like, you know what? I'd love to edit fucking YouTube and podcast videos, clips and shit for you. Because that's what I need to do. I need to start putting clips up. I just need to get better at doing it and doing it more and like figuring out how to do it quicker. And then I think it'll come together. It's going to be a little bit. It's a learning curve. I'm working on it. I'm fucking trying. I'm fucking recording it. If this thing actually finishes recording. And I meant to actually fucking plug this into the actual interface to try to record together, but I fucked that up. I forgot. Anyway. Did I finish even talking about what I was just talking about? I don't even think so. Oh yeah, so I don't even know why the fuck I just got into all that. Anyway, so I was like cleaning these shoes with fucking toothpaste. Like the white part. If you clean white parts of shoes with toothpaste, for some reason it gets them like nice and white. I found that works like the best. Don't ask me, and then I use like alcohol to kind of spot clean the tougher stains on the white, and it usually gets it out too. So anyway, I was doing that, and like I was kind of like holding the shoe against my shirt, and I got like fucking white toothpaste all over my shirt, and I was like, oh, I just completely forgot that I had that shirt on. It was just like a shitty shirt I was fucking cleaning shit with and whatever. So I'm like, I go and I'm in the car driving to go get my daughter from school, and I look at my shirt and it's just like fucking white. Like it looked like I dropped my daughter off at school and I just went home and started immediately jacking off. Like it didn't stop jacking off until it was time to go pick up my daughter again. Like it looked like I went to town on myself. There was fucking white all over my shirt. It might have actually been this shirt. But yeah, it just looked like I had just nonstop cum. It was like would not stop just coming all over my shirt when I got home. That it was fucking so fucking gross. So luckily I had a jacket, so I had to button my jacket up. They probably would have kicked me out of school immediately. I'm like, please don't come back and pick up your kid until you learn how to dress. Like, I'm sorry. This was probably where I crossed the line. I went to the grocery store the other day. Those fucking Pokemon vending machines, man. So now they've got like a thing that says it's restocked at different times. So it's like, yeah, it's just completely random. So now I just check when I go in, which is kind of nice. But it's like, it was kind of nice that there was Pokemon cards in there just like all the time. But people just fucking could not help their grubby little fingers. So yeah, so like that's just kind of like, but I went to Target the other day, and I saw that they had some Pokemon cards behind the counter. So I was like, oh, do you have some Pokemon cards? She's like, oh yeah, do you want to just look in the tub? I'm like, sure. So I looked, and they had some Surging Sparks, like the smaller packs, which I was like, sweet, I'll fucking rip some of those. The lady just walks over and she puts the tub on the counter and then just walks away. And like they're behind the counter because they've had issues with theft and fucking people fighting over it and shit. And so this lady just puts it on the counter and walks away to go get somebody who could ring me up. Apparently she couldn't ring me up. The fucking Starbucks guy had to come over and ring me up for whatever reason. It was very bizarre. But she just left it there. I was like, I could have just taken that tub and fucking sprinted out the door. If somebody was waiting for me, just thrown it in the thing. Sure, I would have fucking been all over cameras. But I'm pretty sure I had like a fucking hat and sunglasses on, and this lady just like, I was shocked. I was like, dude, lady, you are so lucky I'm not a fucking criminal. I walked out one time. I bought, when I was like at the height of like cards were popping off, I went in and I bought like $1,000 worth of baseball cards, and just walked out of Walmart. Like I rang everything in, and then I just walked out of Walmart without paying. Just walked to the car, like got in the car. And then I was like, I don't remember. I was like, where's my receipt? I don't remember finishing up that transaction. So I went back in, and sure enough, there was some guy all fucking confused. Like, why the fuck is my order $1,000? He couldn't figure out that there was already an order started on the computer. He was a fucking boomer. So I'd be like, yeah, I just walked out with $1,000 worth of stuff and didn't. I was like, for some reason, I just completely didn't finish paying. The lady was like, oh, at least he came back. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. So, I don't remember why I was telling that story. I don't. I really don't. But anyway, yeah, I was at the store. And like I usually get these English cucumbers, and they're like thinner cucumbers. Sometimes when you get cucumbers, they kind of taste like fucking dirt, and like they taste too earthy to me. These cucumbers always are consistently fucking the bomb. Like English cucumbers are the best. They're fucking like the skinny. They come in plastic, so you're like, all right. So I went over to grab those, and in their place, like the English cucumbers were there, but like on top of them were these fucking fat, girthy cucumbers in plastic. So I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, why are these things so big? And that's just like was enough to make me like be like, dude, this is outrageous. This is like I was expecting a regular size cucumber, and this thing is fucking massive. Like I don't know why it just was like so offensive to me. I was just like, dude, you can't. I can't have that size cucumber. It's too big. I want the small one. So I just grabbed it. Yeah, the small ones that were under it. I found them tucked under it. And I just wrote. Sometimes I just write down random thoughts. So this was one thought that I thought. It was like, I saw some. It was some fat chick talking about like being serial killed or something like that, or being like, murdered or something. And I just thought this is obviously not the way I like. It was jokingly thinking this, but I said to my wife, I was like, it's always the people who would never be serial killed who would have to worry about it. Like, they'd have to hide the body, right? Like, so I thought that was funny. It's like a little, I don't know. This was just a random. I saw a Facebook reel the other day, and it was literally just somebody started pouring milk and all over the inside of their car. It had like 2,000 plus likes, 129 comments, 111 shares, and 540,000 views. That's fucking nuts. That's what like, and it's hard because it's just a clip now, and you like have to click on it. And then it's just the most ridiculous shit. Like half the time it's fucking hilarious. It's just new family, like, cause like I watch a lot. Like most of the comedy that I like is like really fucked up and dark. And so like, I need some wholesome comedy that I can laugh at. Because I'm a dad, and I can't be like just always just watching fucked up shit all the time. So like, there's this family on Facebook and probably Instagram and shit called the McFarlanes. It's like an old dad and his older sons, not older, but like, they're probably in their 20s, early 30s maybe. And they make fucking videos and skits and shit. And like, they actually put some time and effort and thought into it. It's funny. It's like fucking dad jokes and shit. It's very like mild and funny. So I need that like type of humor. There's also like a couple from like North Carolina. He's got like a North Carolina accent. And he talks about mustard. I don't even remember their fucking name. It just always pops up. It's always just like wholesome shit. And I need that to balance some of the like negative, dark shit that I'm always constantly surrounding myself with. And not even negative stuff. I just like darker shit. You know what I mean? Like, just like I like jokes that are fucked up. And like, so like, I need shit to laugh at that's not deranged. Anyway, this other family just popped up. It's not even a family. It's like a dad and a son. But the guy's like a comedian, and he does like these, and it's just them standing there. And he does these like rapid fire, like jokes, and fucking his son just kind of stands there deadpan. I can't remember their names, but like, it's so fucking funny. I said this to my wife, and she was fucking laughing. So that's how I know. I was like, they're funny. I don't know why I was on talking about that. I don't know. But this was the other thing I thought about the other day. There was one time that I tried to pay in coin change. So this was like years ago. I lived in California, and like in California, there's like all these little dealerships and like places that like are kind of shady and shit. And so I think what happened was like I wanted a specific car. I think I wanted this Ford. I think it was a Ford Explorer. Like that was the car I had set on, and I could only find one like in my price range that I could afford in Ford. In the Valley, I think was where I think it was like North Hollywood was where I ended up finding the car. And so I go over there and like I buy the car and pay for the car and like pay all my shit, get done. I wanted to pay for the car outright, so I was like done and all that shit. And it was like a cheap little fucking car. Like it was just a car that I would get me to point A to point B, and that's what I wanted. And so I forget what happened, but they called me like the next day and they were like, you have to pay us another $100 for this car. And like they were being really shitty about it. And so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and so like I go and I'm like talking to the manager and like, and you know, this was like, they were like giving shitty customer service before it was cool. You know, it's probably some fucking Armenian or Persian guy in the valley who's just like doesn't give a fuck. Like whatever, like just trying to fucking scam me. And so he's like telling me I need to fucking pay this extra $100. So I was like, you know what? I'll come fucking pay this $100. So I went down to the bank and I asked them for pennies. And it was this, I still remember this. It was this old lady and she was just like, pennies. I was like, yeah, it's kind of like I forget what word I used. If I was like, it's like a revenge thing or a spite thing. I forget. I think it's like something to do with spite. I was like, it's to spite pay somebody or something like that. She didn't really get what I was saying, but she was like, I can't do pennies because it's got to be rolled. Like I can't just hand you, you know. So I was like, well, okay, just like give me coins, whatever. So she gives me coins, or maybe she did give me them rolled. I don't think she had enough. I think that's what it was. So she just gave me as much as she could, and then she gave me the rest in coins. And so then I took all those coins and I unwrapped them all. This was so much effort. Like I wouldn't do this now at all. So then I unwrapped all of these fucking coins and blah, 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 and like dumped them in. And so like as this was all happening, I get a phone call and I didn't answer it because I didn't answer calls that I didn't know. So they must have left a message at some point and like I didn't check it. And so I drive over to the fucking place and I go in. And I go, yeah, I'm supposed to pay you guys $100. He goes, oh, you didn't listen to my message? He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna charge it. I waived it for you. You're all good. Enjoy your car. Blah blah blah. I was like, oh, I was actually gonna walk in here and pay you with $100 in coins. And he was like, hey, I'll take it. And then I had a fucking $100 in coins that I had to deal with that I just unrolled and fucking. So yeah, moral of the story is check your voicemail before spite paying somebody in coins. Like it would have been fun to have paid in pennies, but man, that was fucking, I forgot about that. And I thought about that the other day and I was like, oh, that'd be fucking fun to talk about. Let's see. I think I got through like all of the shit that I wanted to talk about. I always like fly through stuff. And then I think I'm going to go back and get to it. And then I don't. And it's just always. I don't know. I think I want to do a children's podcast. I keep talking. I don't like I have time. I don't even have time to do the podcast like I do right now correctly. And I'm like, yeah, I think I could do a kids podcast. Let me do another podcast. We took our kids to the movies for the first time the other day. Went to see Paddington in Peru. We were going to go see Snow White, but I didn't want to subject them to that as their first movie. I was going to do it. I was like, oh, we'll go see it. It's not going to be busy. Like, you know, all of the reactions have been negative to it. And so I was like, oh, you know, it won't be busy. We'll go see Snow White. And every clip I saw was just worse than the last. And I was like, I don't want to go see this. And it's not even like about me. I've said this before. I don't like the Disney remakes. They just don't make sense. It's like, well, who is this for? Like, is it supposed to be for an adult? Is it supposed to be for like a kid? Because kids want cartoons and bright colors and like, is this for like an adult or like a teenage? Like who's gonna go see a live action Disney movie? I don't like. If it's an original live action, sure, but like a remake of a classic movie that was like, and they used to use like crazy like Technicolor and like it's like looks gorgeous when you look at like the older shit that they shot, and they're like, oh, let's just remake it like, and I know everybody hates on the chick that plays Snow White. I mean, I think she's pretty when she's, not in the Snow White getup. She doesn't look pretty in that. Nobody can really look pretty in that haircut. Like, that fucking haircut was horrible. They should have not kept the haircut. Like, if they had done one thing, is just give her like a few more inches. Like, people probably wouldn't have reacted. Like, that would have been like an okay change to make. But instead, I feel like they changed everything else about the movie. I don't know. I still haven't seen it, so I really haven't. I haven't seen the Aladdin one. I haven't seen any of the remakes. They all look fucking terrible. And just, I saw. Well, no, I didn't. I saw the Lion King, and then I saw like the Jungle Book. Like, some of them were okay. The Jungle Book was all right, but now it's like, when it's people, it's kind of like, who is this for? Who's gonna go see a live action? I don't know. I guess. Maybe. I'm sure people still signed up and went to go see it. Yeah, I've got so much stuff I need to get listed. I've like slowly been getting it all listed, but like once I get through all of the free stuff I got, I'm trying to list the more expensive stuff so I can get some of the shit going. Because yard sale season is quickly approaching. It is coming up quick. I'm hoping there's more sales this week, but it's been like, I don't know. I went to a sale. What day was it? Did I go Friday? No. Yeah. Did I go Friday? I don't know. Maybe it was last Friday. I don't remember. There was a sale. It was one I think I was talking about going to, where it's like the one that like signifies that like yard sale season is on the verge of coming back. And I got there like, usually like last year I got there I think at like 5 past, and there was 2 ladies there, but they were there by accident. Like, they didn't realize that it was starting then, or at the other time. They were there like trying to be there for, or they thought it was starting later or earlier than it did. Yeah. So that's the only reason they were there. And then like I got there, and then like probably like 30 minutes later, more people started showing up. This time I got there and there's like a whole family there. And this family was obnoxious as fuck. And like I got there before some of the other people that were like with this family, and then they kept trying to like walk over and like talk to them, which was fine. But like once we went in, they let me go ahead of them. I was waiting. I was like, if they try to fucking jump in. But it wasn't worth it. I found like a modern Fleetwood Mac t-shirt and Ohio State Buckeye sweatshirt, and like that was about it. I had to wait for an hour. There was a ton of people. All the prices were crazy high. They were higher than last year. And last year's prices were high, and they like raised them. So I was like, all right, note to self, don't go back to this fucking sale. It's hard when you get towards the end of the winter, because you're like, man, I want a sale. And you think that it's going to be good, and you drive, and it's a fucking absolute piece of shit. So I don't. Who knows? Hopefully things get better in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I've been finding plenty of stuff. I'm hoping to sell that PlayStation 3 by today. I keep dropping the price like $50, hoping it's at like $750 right now. So I'm hoping that somebody buys it for like between $600 and $700, because it was pretty much complete. I didn't say that it was complete. I just kind of comes with everything. And like, I think I did actually put appears to be complete in the description, because I think it is complete with like, Anyway, so yeah, that's the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend. Perry Flips on Instagram, Pothead Picker on X, Flips and Giggles on eBay and Facebook. And yeah, hopefully I can get some work done on those. Oh my God. Just heard a big bang. My mom's watching my kids right now. I just heard a big ass bang next door. Who knows what that means? Yeah, just make sure you tell a friend. Watch the show. Like it. And hopefully I can get those ones up on YouTube soon. All right, that's the show. Peace.